This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo set to call all the action here at the Wells Fargo Championship. We are at Quail Hollow, and Frank, it is really one of the best courses on tour.
It is the great state of North Carolina, where Donald Ross developed so many great courses. They're the sort of courses that we're used to seeing, but this is a relatively new golf course. First opened up in 1961, but it certainly fits in with the North Carolina landscape. Mature trees, holes well cut out, beautiful greens, and interesting finish.
How do you like that finishing stretch? They call it the Green Mile.
Some might think it's purgatory, but I think it's the perfect touch to a great golf course.
It should be pretty good right there, on the safe side. Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Just a tap in to finish the hole.
And that par certainly won't hurt the cause.
There's still some time. Resuming the action here at EA Sports, let's go out to the 7th hole and pick up with our featured golfer. Frank, nothing spectacular to this point in the first round. What does the player need to do just to kind of generate some momentum?
I actually think they're playing all right, Rich. It's just, you compared to the top of the leaderboard, you start to think, well, maybe they're struggling. But there's ebbs and flows in this game. At the moment, it's just sort of almost like a holding pattern. But it's time to change that.
Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we've got to blame that on the weather. That weather, the wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Now the third shot at the par 5. Starting to feel it now, 3 under. Out of the short par 4-8 here at Quail Hollow, just 350 yards. Frank, players can lay it up and just hit a little baby wedge into the green, but why not go for it in one, try to make something happen?
I think both plans work well, Rich. This is one of those holes, the more you think about it, the more complicated it gets. You're going to lay it up, If you're going to go for it, just aim at that tree and hit it down there. Just take your medicine.
Well, they claim it's a reachable par 4. We haven't seen a whole lot of people do it today. We just saw it right there. Well done. Frank, he might like this one. He might like... Oh, he's going to love it, Frank. Just a tremendous effort right there. An eagle leading the tournament.
Could not have picked a better time.
Frank, this is a really good way to finish out the front side here at Quail Hollow. 495-yard par 4.
Yeah, it's the longest par 4 at Quail Hollow. Some say it might be the toughest. I'm not quite in that camp, and the reason why, that green slopes in from both sides, the left and the right, but you can see why good drivers have done well here, because there's a big reward for thumping a big, long, straight drive down here.
That one is just a little offline, and that will not end up in the fairway. He'll need to be strong with this. Frank, this one's going too far left, it looks like.
Yeah, it was fine there for a little while, but if it keeps going left, it's doomed.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away. You can see the golfer is just boiling right now after that miss and a drop shot here at the 9th. So just a formality here.
In this situation, Richard, bogey's not all that bad. Still has the lead.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Beautiful rhythmic swing right there, and right down Peachtree. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here for par 5, his second shot.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. That's a nice lag putt. Frank, what would you focus on a long putt?
That 3-foot circle, obviously you allow yourself a little bit more the further and further away you get, but just expectations, lower them a little bit. There's certain distances, just take 2.
Starting to pile up the birdies. 5 under par for the tournament. Frank, on this backside at Quail Hollow, a player does have a good chance to get off to a good start with that par 5 10th and now relatively short par 4 11th, where a player with a good drive could stick a short iron in their hands.
Yeah, this is one you're going to have to make a decision. You can just play this as a straightforward dogleg left par 4 and hit a 3-wood or a long iron up there and 9-iron or something like that into the green. Or, if you want to, you can try and blast a drive around the corner. I don't know if that's the more prudent play, but it's fun.
Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You've got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Locked in on the read and the speed. This is a pretty good performance right here. 6 under for the tournament. Frank, you surprised to see that name on top of the leaderboard?
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance, especially tee to green. You don't often see people start that quickly.
EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Welcome to the home of the Wells Fargo Championship, where the likes of Rory McIlroy, Ricky Fowler, and long-hitting J.B. Holmes have all won. It was first opened for play in 1961. It has really grown through the years, and it is now played by the best in the world. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Let's jump down to the golf course. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
99 yards away. Good swing, good shot yet again. Putting all of his talents on display here from the rough, and he knocks it really close. Beautiful shot.
Great start.
Frank, a nice mix of opening holes here at Quail Hollow in the Wells Fargo Championship. Pretty short par 3 here at the second.
180-yard shot. We'll play more like 175 for the half a club downhill. There's much more green on that right side. If you're not too sure what club to hit, then you should stay away from that left side.
Frank missed the green off the tee.
Yeah, but this is certainly a tricky little shot coming up here at the par 3. Not a problem there, Rich.
And getting ready for the putt. Workmanlike hole, he walks away with a par. This is a strong par 4, 452 yards. The third hole it's a good challenge, Frank.
It is big sweeping dogleg left. Actually in a straight line, it's 315, 320 yards to run out. So if you hit the ball further than that, it's going to have to draw. Otherwise, you'll be hitting in the rough on the other side. Still a lengthy shot into there on a green that actually has 3 different levels.
Just an ideal lie, Frank. What can he do from here?
Well, if he takes advantage of the tee shot now and goes at this flag, then he'll certainly gain on the field.
This is a good-looking shot. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Just a couple of feet. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Frank, a par here, that's just fine. Now to the 4th hole here at Quail Hollow, just under 490 yards.
Yeah, they used to have the tee on the right side, which actually made that tee shot very uncomfortable. When they put the new tee box in on the left side, it's a little easier to hit that fairway because that fairway slopes from right to left. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicholas over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. And that's how you play the game, right there. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. What really sets Quail Hollow apart here at the Wells Fargo Championship, the brutal finishing stretch. They call it the Green Mile. And we are excited to bring you all of the tournament action. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novello. Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Oh, that was solid, Rich. This one's safely on.
And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. That's a bogey, but still in the lead.
We start to see shots in hand really valuable. There's out of bounds over there.
He needs to get lucky. Everyone's always found this to be hard, Frank. You're seething, you're just fired up, you just knocked one out of bounds, and you have to kind of put it back together.
Yeah, this one better find the fairway.
Third shot now after having gone OB. Frank, second shot here at the par 5-7. You having a go at this one?
Yes, but you still have to respect the water and the trouble around, so anything slightly left of that flag is fine.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. He'll take that one all day long. Very solid, about 15 feet away.
Great sense of speed in that. We know you can make those, but that one right in the middle.
Out of the short par 4-8 here at Quail Hollow, just 350 yards. Frank, players can lay it up and just hit a little baby wedge into the green, but why not go for it in one, try to make something happen?
I think both plans work well, Rich. This is one of those holes, the more you think about it, the more complicated it gets. You're going to lay it up, If you're going to go for it, just aim at that tree and hit it down there. Just take your medicine.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Well, in the sand, but it has been raked nicely, looking for something positive. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole from that spot.
Well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot.
How you maintain momentum and make those putts for par. Frank, this is a really good way to finish out the front side here at Quail Hollow. 495-yard par 4.
Yeah, it's the longest par 4 at Quail Hollow. Some say it might be the toughest. I'm not quite in that camp. And the reason why, that green slopes in from both sides, the left and the right. But you can see why good drivers have done well here, because there's a big reward for thumping a big, long, straight drive down here.
Frank, break down this approach shot here at the long par 4 ninth.
Well, it's a lengthy one. A nice high, soft landing shot would work, but don't be too concerned if you're a little left or right of target, because the mounding on the green should help in your favor.
Oh no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is gone.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
too much and not too little. Perfectly played into the center of the cup. Frank, in golf, there's nothing quite like the final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Thanks for joining us here today in Charlotte, North Carolina for the final round of the Wells Fargo Championship. Frank, what do we have out here today?
Well, if history has a chance of repeating itself, remember those great closing rounds by Rory McIlroy? That 62, that was one of the best rounds ever shot that year, back in 2010. And of course that playoff too, Ricky Fowler back in 2012. We actually beat out then world number one Rory McIlroy with that stunning drive down the finishing hole and brilliant wedge to a tight flag. This golf course, it can give it, it can take it away, but for us, from where we're sitting, Rich, we'll enjoy the view today.
No doubt about it. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Well, Frank, this is something we've seen more and more of in recent years, players just on the fringe.
Yeah, it's good to see. It shows he's thinking. You don't just have to grab the lob wedge, and that's it. Hybrid, putt, you name it, whatever works.
Safely aboard. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. In the hole, and a birdie. Back here at the par 4 11th at Quail Hollow, set to tee off. What's the right game plan here, Frank?
Oh, there's two really. That left bunker off the tee, it's about 265 yards to get it on the fairway, or 308 yards, 310 yards run out there. I've seen players just try and carry the bunker, sort of set up a short iron, and I've seen players like Rory McIlroy just try and blast a driver with a hook on it. Both strategies have worked.
So going well up the hill to that green, we'll need to take an extra club here. Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. That wasn't a gimme, but it sure made it look easy. Here we are now at the 12th, and Frank, this is a beautiful but dangerous hole, par 4.
It is in a number of ways. The hole bends gently to the right, which you'd think would favor a nice little fade, but the fairway just seems to shrink up. I've seen this fairway missed by so many good players. And plus its yardage, 450 odd. You can't really lay back too far, otherwise you've got too long for your second shot.
Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next. Not in the fairway, but not too bad. Just in that first cut.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Birdie try up next. Birdie putt coming up. The par on this hole yesterday. Like it. Oh, they're going to love it. What a putt. Here we are at the par 3, 13th hole. It's 210 yards. What does it take here, Frank?
It's one actually where you'd rather be conservative than aggressive here. And the reason why is this green tends to roll off at the back and the front and the middle there. So it's just something that pitches more in the central part of the green is really what's required.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Looks like he just misread that. From about 8 feet. Frank, a par here, that's just fine. Now we come to the really interesting 345-yard par 4 14th. Frank, I'm thinking that if you're leading, you're probably not going to try to drive this and take on the risk with the water on the left. But if you're behind, you have a chance to make up some ground.
Yeah, I have it written in my yardage book, Rich, on this hole. Only good and bad things happen with the driver, nothing in between.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now as we arrive at the par 5 15th hole here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards. Frank, I think a player has to be thinking about doing what Rory McIlroy did in 2010.
It's the last of the holes that you can really be aggressive on, Rich. So a good drive down here. I'm well aware of the fact that there's water on the left. This is a good chance to make something happen before you play the green mile.
And that's what McIlroy did. Hit a tracer, then a 5-iron, knocked it in for eagle, shot 62, and won for the first time on the PGA Tour.
That's an absolute beauty.
Playing his third here at the par 5. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department.
Well, not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up. Second shot coming out of the rough here. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Pretty good stroke right there, just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Workmanlike hole, he walks away with a par. Frank, the 17th here at Quail Hollow, it is all you want.
And a bit more, actually. The only advantage the player has, it plays a little bit downhill. But when you look at the lake in front of you, if there's any swirling breeze out there, it just becomes a nightmare trying to choose the right club.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Ball sitting down here in the rough, he's digging in. Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. 10-foot putt left. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
In this situation, Richard, bogey's not all that bad. Still has the lead.
Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you hit the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I've got no idea how big it would be.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish. But, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. This is to win the Wells Fargo Championship. Continues to putt beautifully. What a day of golf we saw out there today at Quail Hollow. Outstanding win for this young golfer. Frank, what's your takeaway?
Rich, we can see why Quail Hollow has cemented its place on the PGA Tour roster. This is a golf course that gives us every type of shot that the viewer would like to see and the player would like to hit.
Well said, Frank. For all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long from the Wells Fargo Championship.